On that note, Mr. Jonnie Bars,
Yes.
how you doing today?
I'm actually doing swell.
What you been up to, man?
Had a whole lot of creating, getting music ready for the new year.
What do you mean, like 2020 New Year or like this current year? I'm just
No,
giving you a hard time.
this current year that we're still in. Even though it's felt like January and February.
It went by fast.
Well, yeah. Well, it was. I felt like it was a long January. February kind of went by fast, and then March was like,
no, it's warp speed.
Yeah. So,
isn't March shorter month?
No, February
is, yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So, but nah, it's just been constantly creating. Been working with JM Cam, Productive Culture, on new music. Also So Dope, Dom V, just different producers and beat makers trying to get this new music together. So I've been really focused on that. But yeah.
That's cool. I'm interested to see the sounds that you and So Dope cook up.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. No, he's really a veteran. He's been on this, and the thing is, we kind of have when working with him, we found that we have similar interests in what we want to do, and kind of build a chemistry to the point where, like, I don't know, we just know what we know what kind of sounds we're looking for, or what we're looking for within one another to make a record. So it, the chemistry has been going really well. He triggers the sets at my shows. Yeah, and we've been constantly working, like me and James Cam been constantly working. So that's been good.
That's tight, man.
Yeah.
And then Dom V, I'm excited to see that. Dom just has not interesting. His beats, the way he goes about them are pretty. They're I guess interesting.
Yeah, I mean because he's a musician too, so it's kind of like it's trap, but it's trap with a
live sound.
Yeah, and so it's like a very smooth, chill trap. It's not selection. It's not in your face. It's just something that
something you could two-step to.
Yeah. He makes really nice beach groove music.
Yeah.
So
I think his sound really reflects him as his chill, just
Yeah. He's
just quiet, calm, and just
like a modern hippie, just
doing his
out
thing.
here. Yeah, but he's really dedicated to his sound, and also a really good engineer too.
Oh, I agree with that big time.
Yeah. So but they just I mean, it's something that as far as working on music, that I've been really focusing on wanting to get done, because there hasn't really been anything out since The American Dream. That was like in 2017.
That was really?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, it was around August, September 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I remember is because of the DIY Fest that year. And so I was able to have everything ready to, promote that. But yeah, it's been almost 2 years. And there hasn't really been any music that I've put out for myself. There's been features and stuff that I've been working on with other people that's out, but nothing really that I put out. So I felt a need to want to make sure that the music sounds dope and that everything continues to go accordingly, I guess.
I cease.
I'm gonna ask you the question again, the original question.
Yeah.
With what you know and your taste on hip hop music in general, where's your take on the state of hip hop right now?
I definitely feel like hip hop is getting back to a state of substance. People are no longer just okay with the fake and the weak shit. And I mean, I don't know. There's a time and a place for everything, I have a guilty pleasure for wanting to listen to Migos and Future the same way that I like bumping Nas and bumping Mick Jenkins and bumping, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and then I'll listen to Lil Pump for no reason. I just feel like hip hop has a place for everybody. And I think that a lot of the people, a lot of the older heads, a lot of the people who don't really like growth or change,
Like
they're kinda
close-minded.
yeah, they like things being a certain way, so they're always gonna push to the '90s. They're always gonna push the certain golden era of hip hop, and to them, they feel like because it's not fitting that, it's dead, and hip hop lives within us. Um, and so, like, we continue to keep pushing that, and as long as we continue to keep pushing that and keep making it apparent that it is alive and well, then yeah, I feel like hip hop is in a really good state, and we're getting to that. We're getting back to a um, like demanding substance in
Like
the music.
like where everything is, it's in a sense, it's coming full circle again.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I'm excited about that because now the people who like J. Cole for what he talks about, they're gonna like a lot of these other underground lyrical artists who are doing the same thing. But now, everyone's hustling, everyone's moving. I feel like if those artists were making it more apparent, not saying that they're not, but if they were doing more to make it more apparent, in strategic ways,
Mhm.
then they can be put in that same light. And yeah, gonna set that example. So
Most Def, I forgot which project it was or which one of his. He always talked about how hip hop it's in the state of the people. Wherever hip hop
Black
is,
on both sides.
Yeah, I knew. I was waiting. I was like, I know he's gonna say it.
Yeah.
It's hip hop is the people.
Mhm.
Wherever the people are, hip hop will be, and vice
Mhm.
versa. Wherever hip hop's at, the people will be. And I think it's a crazy. I mean, we'll always get to it now. I think Nipsey's passing was a prime example of where hip hop is and where it's going towards.
Yeah. I mean, it was unfortunate because we don't, as far as the minority community, we don't have a lot of public figures.
We don't.
And a lot of our public figures are like celebrities first. So for Nipsey to kind of transition over from just being that celebrity to actually being a public figure who is giving back to his community, staying within his community, and actually, he had a wife, he had a family, he had what looks to have like everything going for him, and to see that taken away, it was kind of a reality check. That you really have to be aware, but also that the people around you need to be just as aware as you are. Your people need to have your back just as much as you have your own, because you can get caught anybody can get caught in a situation. And if you don't have the right people around you who are willing to, not right people around you, but if you don't have people who are aware enough to realize the situation, and just kind of let things fall as they may, then I mean, you can end up just like that, just gone. And it sucks because we don't need to be losing any more young, like we don't need to be losing anybody else in hip hop. You lose Triple X, you lose Mac, you lose Nipsey, and now everybody wants to start making a change. The change should have happened yesterday.
Decades ago, too.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just something that needs to happen right now, and we need to continue to spread that, and it just can't be something that carries on for a month and then we forget about it because we got life shit going on.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's what bothers me the most, man. It's it's like a Rolling Stone effect, but then all of a sudden it's like life happens, but then it's if we would just to take that extra day of continuing what we're doing, I think life for everybody as a whole would drastically change, because then we would get away from what we think we would have to do and really realize at the end of the day, like, yeah, life is going to happen, but it only happens once. So why can't we come together and recreate, not for us, because more importantly for the next generation.
Yeah.
Give them more life.
Yeah. Set an example.
Take away life.
Yeah. No, you definitely want to continue to do that, and if not for the youth, for your community, for sure. And I feel like he set the example of how to be able to do things the right way and how to be able to give back to your community, and to really set an example on how to be a figure amongst the people. I feel like this is even though it's an unfortunate situation, this is going to inspire a lot of positive things. It already has,
Yeah.
It has inspired a lot.
and I feel like just going forward, we just need to make sure we're continuing to remember that.
I think I read this somewhere, probably on Twitter, Instagram. I don't think I think no, I think it was what's his name from Pack Music.
North Star.
North Star, yeah. He made it a point where he says that I think people I think he reposted it. I think he said that in this generation he's a firm believer that people will continue to talk about Nipsey. And I think the good thing about social media, and I talked to my friend Rick last night about it, when Tupac had passed, you had to know who Tupac was in order to really like mourn.
Right.
With social media, so many people who are not even fans of hip hop were aware of Nipsey Hussle, and it changed the whole impact of it all because now you have individuals who would have never known Nipsey through music, maybe through his community work, are now affected by it, and which is a beautiful. It's a like you said, it's a time to mourn, but also at the same time, it's a beautiful Passover because now a community is coming together. But like you said, how do we keep that community? How do we keep that community that has been created? That he started it, and maybe his passing lit more of a fire to engage more than what we have created.
Yeah, the celebration of life the celebration of his life needs to turn into the celebration of yours.
Wow.
And being able to just really appreciate what it is that you have around you. And if you're not happy with what's around you, then you have the ability to change that and to make that better. And it's never too late. But yeah, no, if you, it just needs to transition over from a celebration of life until a celebration of yours, and being able to appreciate that and appreciate what's around you, and that's how we can be able to further connect and build, or at least, I mean, I'm not saying that's the way, but that's what I believe.
And especially for me, being one of those people. I mean, I never listened to his music. I mean, I was aware of a couple of songs here and there, or when Dewa will play in his car. But I think Nipsey's death hit hard on a lot of people. I mean, it was definitely unexpected, especially the
really
way
unexpected.
the way he was going in terms of like just where he was
He was like
he was
Elevated.
very extremely elevated.
Yeah.
I remember when we got the group message in the text, I was like, I was like, no, like, no,
like
Yeah.
and I remember when
Yeah.
I saw the news, like he got shot 6 times. And I was the back of my mind was like, man, him. I was like, I hope he makes it.
Yeah.
And then I saw Portia's story, and it said that he passed. And I hit her up and I was like, wait. It's like I just heard he got shot. And she responded like, yeah, it's been confirmed 15 minutes ago. And then after that response, it just trickled down. Like everybody started posting, he passed on. And I was like, man, like that hurt. Like it's
I felt like the whole world that day was the following day was just still and emotionless, or not even emotionless.
it was processing.
Yeah,
It was processing, but it also I don't want to use the word aware. It inspired people to actually go out and do something in a sense. Like
I think and we don't. I think, and that's what's a beautiful thing about this story. I think that's going to unfold within the next few months with Nipsey's passing. Um, a lot of people, especially artists or just anybody who's about the hustle, I think it's like if this man did what he did and encouraged everybody else to do it, like though his philosophy in life was very beautiful because his thing was like, I taught other people how to fish and now they know how to eat. And I think that's very powerful. And if a lot of people understood that concept and the way he explained it, it was so humiliating because it was, I know I could do, people pass me and I'm okay with that. And I think that's a great thing that I think people should take away, because at the end of the day, I think he taught people life on how to get away from that lifestyle, but still be in that lifestyle, but really, how do I make it better?
Mm-hmm.
How do I go for the community? How do I improve the justice? How do I engage with LAPD to make not my life better, but to make the kids
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
their life better?
Mm-hmm.
And I think hopefully it would be cool to see more people following that role of, you know what, we got to do that now, because if we're true about what we are as a community, a hip hop community, then I believe that the next step should be following that route, and really, like you just said about the OGs, or not the old heads, not being willing to educate.
Yeah.
And look, we got a 33-year-old who was on the pinpoint of his entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I think he did more entrepreneurship than people would know that he did music.
Yeah.
That and community
Community.
organization.
Yeah,
Because,
he-
like, according to the police chief, they were supposed to meet together
The next
the
day.
next day.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Sunday is when he got killed.
Yeah,
And it-
unfortunately.
and
It's
it's-
just like, but you know what? It's definitely something that like
Just say
it's just well, nah, it's just well, nah, it's just what it is if he did set an example as far as being able to like give back to the community, and the community gave back to him. I think it just sets a further example, though, that you know you can't. It does take a village. You can't be able to bring a city together or people together, and continue to be able to build and really strive for making the environment around you better. And he did make a very positive impact in the environment that he was in. And I think that as long as people continue to learn from that and understand, you know, you can be able to have your own business, and you can be able to throw it in your city, and you can be able to bring your community together. You can make a difference. As long as people continue to understand that and remember that, then yeah, like it's like I said, it's a celebration of life right now. We're celebrating. We're all celebrating because, you know, we feel inspired. We feel some type of way about this, but we're not gonna let it bring us down.
no.
And for that we celebrate. And yeah, and it's the same thing with Mac Miller. Like, you know, like I said, we just can't continue to keep losing
We can.
these hip hop artists, especially under these conditions. And the ones that are making a difference, we can't continue to lose
No.
those.
Yeah.
Because like we sit here and we see somebody like Tekashi 6ix9ine troll for a whole year, and he has jail time and everything's cool with him. While in the meantime, somebody like, you know, Mac Miller takes it, like is now gone. Nipsey Hussle is now gone. We're losing.
Didn't we lose someone else too? In the beginning last week? A battle rapper?
Yeah, Tech-9.
Tech-9,
Tech-9
yeah.
passed away. Tech-9 committed suicide. And he was a pioneer of battle rap from the beginning. I was a fan of Tech-9. But like, we can't continue to keep losing these people while we entertain the fuckery and the bullshit and the fluff that everybody else is providing. And then we get upset and be like, yo, this isn't hip hop, or this isn't like, you know what I mean? This is bullshit. I'm not fucking with this. Well, you don't have to. There's plenty of other dope artists, other dope influencers, other dope people that you can pay attention to, and that you can be able to really be influenced and be inspired by. And they don't have to pass away for you to be able to realize that.
Nope.
So,
Not.
but yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because you got, like you said, you got Tecate who did what he did, yet he's still breathing. It's like when it's like, it's not fair.
No.
Huh? A what?
Tecante.
Well, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Tekashi.
Tekashi. My bad. I'm sorry. I don't even know how to pronounce that fool's name.
Yeah.
My bad. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Nah.
Maybe I just don't want to.
Nah, Tekashi's definitely on some. But even then, like, and I'm not saying that something should happen to him, but it's just the fact that we America entertains bullshit so much that the common person in America, it's just a matter of how much bullshit you're willing to tolerate on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you have enough bullshit to worry about with not having to watch the news and see gas prices go up and see if you eat this certain type of thing, you could go unhealthy and all this other shit because you have life to deal with. You know what I mean? And you have that bullshit. And then you have other bullshit on top of that. So which
Or
one are you going to
agendas.
handle for the day? Right? And so America feeds off of that and they entertain you with Donald Trump tweets and fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine posts and the media steering things in a direction to make you
Or
believe
doing it
whatever they want to believe. So amongst all of that, it just makes it, I don't know, it's just like, it's just nothing but bullshit because we have to search for the real. We really have to search for the real and we have to go and find that. That's on us. So yeah, I hope that this was a reality check and I hope that people are inspired and continue to, like I said, remember that. So
I'm gonna do the clap.
I feel like he looks forward to that clap.
No,
powerful 3.
Because production wise, if those claps are not there, it's gonna be a long 10 hours.
Nah, I feel you.
Sinking.
I gotta hear my claps every time.
There we go.
I guess it can say like it can go from 10 if with those claps, it makes a difference. Yeah, hour or 10 minutes into an hour. And vice versa.
No,
So,
that makes I'm just. It's funny because he's always just like now. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He, hype.
All right, guys, I'm gonna clap again.
Do it.
Is everybody ready?
Just do it.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just saying that's how
man.
he builds in that anticipation.
He does. It's just.
Oh, you
like,
got hey.
He'll be like this.
Hey, he's like David.
Now,
Right?
I'm
Hey,
just
clap.
like, next time he's about to do it, I'm gonna be like this.
He just tells him for him. Change it right now. I'm just gonna clap just because. Change it. All right.
Yeah, he's like, camera starting. I did it. Okay, continue on.
That energy, bro. No, go ahead.
That's great.
But yeah, nah. You know what is dope though? It's there has been a lot of good music that has been coming out, and a lot of the underground artists have been coming out with some solid work.
Can you name a few?
Oh yeah, Paris the Thought is dope. Nirvana's dope. Richard Wright's project is my favorite project of this year so far.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, yeah, his project's really dope because I know how hard he worked on that to get that out. Waju's project is gonna be dope too.
Waju.
We Are Skywalker's project was dope when they had released it.
That was an interesting album. That was cool.
Yeah. And then Nug Life. I've been listening to them a lot too.
His Nug Life Productions?
Yeah, Nug Life Productions.
His beat sets are entertaining.
Yeah.
The way he just goes about it and his energy towards it.
He's seasoned. He does it every day.
Did you go to their Noah's their release thing? Oh, okay.
Nope. I didn't RSVP.
No, I wanted to, but I was like, it's LA. Montana's LA.
Yeah, it was my brother's birthday, so
happy birthday.
Or my brother's birthday.
Happy birthday to your brother.
Happy birthday. Because he's watching, I hope. That's family.
That's family.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Appreciation. Yeah.
Next year.
Next year. Don't show him today, though.
No, show him next year.
Don't show him anytime soon. Show him next year. That's a
happen?
birthday gift. Then you don't have to give him a gift. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. What about Nug Life that you went? Shout out to Nug Life Productions. What about him that you enjoy listening to his music?
Well, because he works off of what is it, Machine? I just like the live feel of just hearing beats being made. It's like no different than listening to somebody working off like an MP3 and just having them, make beats all day. And Nug Life is very seem like seasoned as far as making beats.
You could hear
like
it.
this is just what
That's
he does as far as Steven. So yeah, no,
he dropped a beat kit.
who?
Oh gosh,
Oh, yeah.
dropped a beat kit.
But oh gosh, Leotis has been dope. He works with Decap, who I really fuck with.
That whole family tree, is phenomenal. Like, yeah. Oh yeah. Then what's his name? Mason too. Mason's related to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole family of production. It's Fruity Loops. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's Fruity Loops. Yeah, it's the reason why.
No, but there's been a lot of good projects. Your project is really dope too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You working with Hostway, that was really cool to listen to. I like your guys' chemistry. That's cool with 1000, of course.
Oh yeah, that was tight.
Yeah, and then like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people have been dropping solid project. Nor James. A lot of people have been dropping solid projects from the underground scene, and it's continuing to get better because it's just like everyone's trying to one up each other in a friendly,
which we need,
competition kind of way.
Fuck the friendliness.
I know what you.
I know what you mean. No, I agree on it. It's needed. We need that. We need that competition. We need, and it's cool because it makes you drop a project. Now I listen to it and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta do this better.
Mm-hmm.
Noah drops a project, like shit. It's cool because like it that's what I love about hip hop.
Yeah.
It's, especially if you're competitive, you're gonna enjoy this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's to feel inspired, not to feel envy.
Yeah, the big difference.
Yeah, you wanna feel inspired off of what somebody's doing and wanna do better for yourself. You don't want to feel envious of what somebody else is doing and then try to outdo that, because that's not how that works. You want to better yourself. And so yeah, it's just continuing to feel inspired and to be inspired and understand, yeah, it is a friendly competition. Everybody wants, it's like show and tell, right? Everybody wants to put out their best work and show everybody and be like, yo, this is my really dope, thing I came up with, or this is what I brought for the class. And
That's
we
cool.
we all want
I like
that.
that idea.
Yeah, because we all want
we all
want that attention. We all want a lot of us artists who are up and coming we want that attention. We want people to admire the work that we put in to what we're doing and to our craft. And so with that being said, yeah, it's been admired. It's been a lot of dope underground music.
What do you do? Some other we were asked a question on the other podcast, and I guess I'm gonna ask you, when do you how do you feel as an artist when you create, when you know that your song itself is a good song? How do you what's that moment of, yeah, this is good? How do you go about that? How do you gauge it? Hey man, no, hey, you know
yeah,
what?
I feel you. It's just
my name's Jonnie Bars. Everything I spit is fire.
Nah, it's just
admit it. Just everything.
Yeah.
Man, come on now.
Yeah, a fuck up.
What do you mean? No, I was on a fuck up. Is not intentional. It came out great.
That's foreign to me, fam. I'm sorry. I don't speak that. No, but when creating records, I definitely think a lot. It depends, because I think a lot when it comes to. I'm very like.
You could hear it.
Yeah, I'd like to think a lot.
Detail.
Yeah, because it depends. There are certain tracks that I think of wanting to just make a record. I just want to write to it and just have it sound dope and be out. And then there's others where I'll sit down and conceptualize it and go over it. And the only time I guess I'll know is when I'm finished, as I'm writing it, depending on the concept, or once it gets recorded with JM Cam. Those three phases let me know that the track is dope, the track is good to go out, because if one of those go wrong, then the record's not going to get made.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because if JM Cam doesn't like it, then that means and I trust his ear, that means that there's something wrong with it that I'm either not hitting or it's just not hitting. If I'm forcing myself into something that's like trying to concept and it's not flowing, then I'm not going to continue to go with it. And yeah, if I'm just like, if I'm writing something that I just don't feel like if it's hitting, then I like to write all the time. When it comes to just listening to instrumentals. So if it doesn't work for one song, then it might work for another, you know. But it's not. I try not to force things. If it's being forced, then I'm not. That's when I feel uncomfortable. But most of the time, I'm in a flow, so everything does feel like, yo, this is dope. It's going well.
Mm.
So
that's a good perspective on all that.
Yeah,
it's interesting to getting to know the process behind each individual's creative process, because you learn a lot and you see a lot of other artists doing certain things, and you take bits and pieces of it all, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
like each is unique and different.
Yeah.
Yeah, your influence. Yeah, you're Frankensteining your own creation based off of what you're influenced by. You know what I mean? And sometimes it could be local people. Sometimes it could be, artists who passed away or artists from previous. Sometimes it could be, people that are younger than us that are still running it. But yeah, it's just being influenced.
Did you ever get in the phase where you stopped completely listening to music and when you were creating your own work? Or do you continue to listen to other artists while you're in a state of creation?
I continue to listen to other artists. It doesn't bother me as much because it's not. I don't get influenced. I don't really get influenced by like too much, unless like I go through this phase where I listen to everything late, like music late.
I feel you on that.
And there's some albums I haven't even listened to at all. So I take whenever I'm creating or in a process of like album mode, I will take time to really like dial in on that, and then I won't listen to anything new that's out. I'll just bump the shit that I like enjoyed listening to before, or
that you probably already know subconsciously in a sense.
Yeah, and it's just like it's not gonna affect what I have going forward unless it's somebody who I'm really a fan of. Then I'll sit down and listen to them, but I won't like run it. When I'm in a creation mode, I'm in a focus of wanting to get that done first, so everything else is just kind of like not really tuned out, but it's kind of like turned down. It's not my focus. So I'm not really trying to get involved into it at the time. Listening to new music when it comes out, like everybody gets hyped off of that. For me, it takes a month sometimes for me to even to listen to it. So yeah. I try not to let it affect me with my creative process.
That's usually pretty good, context.
Yeah.
Because you definitely don't want to, get influenced by that particular artist to the point where you almost, get really influenced and end up replicating that particular artist. Because that also can be, if you're not aware of that, that can also be dangerous as well too.
It can be, yeah. No, you definitely. I mean, for some people, they can't pinpoint. My favorite is when people say, "I like it. It sounds different," because it lets me know, number one, you haven't heard a lot of me yet. You know what I mean? To have like there hasn't been a style like that. That's good. And number two, it opens a door for another avenue of hip hop music for you to be able to listen to now. I love hearing, it's different because you can't, when you hear, like, I don't know about you, but I don't like being automatically compared to an artist right away. Like, oh, your shit sounds like this.
Yeah.
You sound like Lupe. You sound like, you know what I mean? Kid Cudi, you sound like this. And it's just like, not really.
It's not a bad thing, but it's a good thing when you don't get it, because then you're like, cool, now I know that I don't sound like anyone else in a sense.
Yeah. I like sounding different means that they're not used to listening to your music. That's why it's different, but they like it. So because it's different, it's not from what you're used to. They just need more of it. But yeah, nah, it's just I like that compliment. I feel like I mean, I always appreciate compliments in general, but as an artist, you know, I'm not trying to sound like anybody else. So when you get that comparison, it's just kind of like, oh, well, thank you, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like if you're going to somebody else's house and they're making you this food, and you're just like, oh yeah, this tastes just like Boston Market type of food, and they're like, what? Like, first of all, like, huh? Have you ever had Boston Market? Oh, you shouldn't. But
I
anyway,
think I only went there once on a Friday night. Just
but
to have
like,
my friends
but
get
the
drinks.
automatically like first initial thought or response is to compare it to something else, and it's like, come on, fam, like this is my work.
Just have to
Stop
label it.
comparing
Right.
shit and let it be. Let it be its own
And people were
greatness.
comparing your work to another artist on on comments on posts that you were doing.
Yeah, like
You just kinda like,
one of my former instructors like try to tell me like you should do this style because you're good at it. That immediately aggravated me as
Right.
an artist, because I'm like, I'm not a one trick pony.
Right.
And it's funny because like I was talking to David like I think it was like what, like last week or a few days ago, that like I get what the instructor's saying, but I also take offense to it because like I don't want to be labeled as that. And after that instructor told me that, like I literally stopped doing that style for a while. Like I ended up just doing like different styles, like they're using different mediums, like so to the point where like people are not gonna recognize or get familiar with my style.
Right. Exactly. It doesn't have to be labeled. It's your own label. You're still coming up with it. So for somebody to put something on something that you like, for somebody to put a label on something that you haven't even defined yet, that you're still defining, that's insulting. At least to me it is. So it's just like, nah, it doesn't deserve a label because I haven't defined it yet. Or at least that's how I feel. Like if you're up and coming, like we're still trying to make our own lane. We're still trying to, you know, establish our own platform. So give us that respect as an individual. You know what I mean? Instead of instantly comparing me to another artist, what is it about the music that you do like that makes it dope, that does make it different?
Right.
Or your art that does make it dope, that does make it stand out, that does make it different. Your art, what makes it stand out, that brings out the potential instead of the comparison. What is it that draws you to it?
You're dropping a lot of tools right now, man. That's good. I think I never really thought about that. Like when I've always, my whole thing about comparison, especially as like coming up as an artist, I know who inspires me. I know damn well, and I know that's why I asked you if you listen to anybody, because there's points where I won't listen to anybody's music.
Yeah,
it's kind of frustrating, but it's like calmness at the same time, because it's like I want to be able to solidify my sound. And so when you get people like, especially the young kids I'm around all the time, when they listen to my music, they're like, this doesn't sound like anybody. I'm like, yeah.
That's the
It's a good
point.
feeling. It's like a feeling of accomplishment, because we all love music, and we all love artists for one reason to another reason to 1,000 million reasons. So when you as a young artist start to get your own imagery, whether that be painting, whether that be music, whether that production, when you get your own sound, your own imagery, and people start to say that's what Justin does, this is what Jonnie Bars does, this is what Nato does, this is what you do. And that's a good feeling, because that's like solidifying you're here in your lane. You're not boxed in, you're just here. In your own thing.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
And that's always been my challenge too when we dealt with some of the younger cats too, because like I always tell them like, don't rely on trends. Like focus on you, focus on your own originality. Create something that's in a sense never been done before, but also speaks to you as your identity. And I always tell them like trends are I consider them a vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're supposed to get a sense of the blueprint, like
Yeah.
what you can get away with and what rules you can like break.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you, this is why I always think about trends, and like I consider them like bullshit in a sense because um like eventually those trends are gonna phase out eventually, because that's why I consider them trends. Like they're the flavor of the month, but eventually
Right.
that new flavor is gonna uproot that.
Right.
And I told him like, all right, say you create your own, something new, something that's never been heard before. And the flip side to it is like, now that becomes a trend. So you're gonna have like other particular individuals like, no, so this is the new formula, so I have to follow that formula. No, you don't. Like you have to like just peep it, but also be aware, like, no, I have to stand apart for myself.
Yeah.
So I said vessel.
I think trends. I think when I agree with what Justin just said, because if you can't rely on trends, you're just gonna be that moment of what was. But at the same time, if you are your own unique individual and you stay away from trends, you could eventually make your own trend and be a trend.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying anything's wrong, because at the end of the day, it's like, how does Lil Pump have a cult following?
Mm-hmm.
There's something about him that people go crazy about. So how does another artist have their own, not cult? I mean, I want a cult following. That'd be tight.
Yeah.
But how do you create that? And I think you have to be a trend in your own right, because people want something not so much trendy to follow, but they need something to follow.
Yeah. I mean, people want to be with the
They want to be with the in crowd.
not people want to be with the times. Whatever the times is presenting.
No, they're different. The cult is bigger. Like, but what I mean is like in a trend, it's like that's true.
Yeah, but a cult like a trend, or like a cult following doesn't have like.
It doesn't have a cap.
Yeah, you don't ever hear of a.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about the glove and the movements, everything he's done, yes.
Yeah, that's a trend. The gimmick is a trend, right? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like you right now, but yeah.
Yeah, no, the gimmick is a trend. He's not a trend. He's trend.
He's a
trendsetter.
Yeah. Yeah, he set a trend. He wasn't.
That's what I meant.
And I think trends is more so people falling into the times.
Because I think he has a cult in a sense. So
yeah, trendsetter though. Yeah, no, that definitely defines Michael Jackson. And I think, but nah, just even with trends, like, I mean, I don't know. You could be with the times, and you can fall into certain trends. But if you're just, like, it's just about being yourself at the end of the day. If you, and if more people weren't afraid to be themselves, then there really wouldn't be any type of trend.
yeah.
But I mean, for the people who are, you know, I don't know, just get with the right trends, I guess. I mean, there's just because the trends are going to continue to happen. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
inevitable.
but also just realizing that, you can still be yourself. You can still define your own trend. You can still, you can still be able to do for yourself. You don't need anything else to define you outside of what you are doing and what you feel like you're capable of doing.
Marvel movies have cult followings, and I'm part of the cult following.
No, I mean,
I
agree.
had comic books before the movies became a thing.
Yeah, no, there's
Yeah.
I know people
the
who
Marvel movies
die
are
hard Marvel fans. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I get where you're coming from. I know we have this conversation so much fucking times.
the
I'm
Marvel
just
movies.
thankful that I'm able to see this. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, for right now, and especially because going back and dropping movies from like 10, 20 years ago is a thing now, is a trend now. I think from a lack of originality, I don't know. I think it's perfect for these movies, like especially with Marvel coming out, and I think that it's going to continue to be a trend for the next year or two, where it's not really original, but
You think so? You think
well, even like with Disney movies, like I was talking to somebody about this, and it's just like, what was the last original Disney motion picture that was just like an actual, like the cartoon, like back in the day? Snow White was, and like Lion King, exactly.
Been a minute.
Like what? The Princess and the Frog, maybe?
But that's not. I mean, but that's like already like a storyline.
I mean, I can't. It's just
Nostalgia.
yeah. It's nostalgia over originality right now when it comes to these movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Lion King.
That's
It's a movie I called an animated movie.
If you're gonna waste your time remaking a movie, can we do Super Mario, please? And also,
don't remake the Hulk. Fuck that. Stop. Don't touch the Hulk anymore.
Redo Super Mario, please, because the last one was bad. And John Leguizamo, you shouldn't have did that.
I haven't seen the movie, and I'm kind of thankful I shouldn't see
There's
it.
only one scene in the movie that I enjoy, and it's the elevator scene. It did air dancing. Outside of that, bro, that movie did not need to be made.
Well, how do you a live action,
have it on VHS if you want to.
A live action Mario movie is like questionable to Dragon Ball Z live action. You don't do that.
Nah, man. Mario is where it all started. I don't give a damn about Dragon Ball Z right now because Super Mario is what made Dragon Ball Z. If you think about it, without Super Mario and those fireballs, you couldn't have any Dragon Balls with the fireballs.
I'm not gonna lie.
I said it.
Is that an Easter egg from Super Mario to create Dragon Ball Z?
No.
I'm just kidding, guys. That has no correlation whatsoever.
We could run with it.
That has no correlation whatsoever. But Super Mario just needs to come out with a live. They need to come up with another movie and stop bluffing, because that's a misrepresentation, to say the least. Yeah.
Well, we're about to wrap it up right now. So, Jonnie Bars, last words.
And rant.
That's
pretty much it.
Where can we find your music at? Let the people know of Untapped Hip Hop. Where can we find you?
Plug
yourself in.
Besides this podcast, if you haven't subscribed yet,
subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe. You can find me on all social media at Jonnie Bars, JONNIE Bars. I will have new music out. In the meantime, The American Dream is on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. Check that out if you haven't already. And yeah.
I'm going to ask you one more question. How did you come up with Jonnie Bars?
That's the name I gave myself. I used to watch a lot of battle rap before I started rapping. And then I went to an open mic at the Dope Spot. And I needed to have a rap name or some type of name to give myself. So as I was writing down to, on an open mic to get myself on the list. And yeah, Jonnie Bars was that. It was going to be Johnny Quest, but Jonnie Bars, everybody likes that.
I'm glad you stuck with Jonnie Bars.
Yeah, thank you.
Johnny Quest is tight, but Jonnie Bars.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly why Jonnie Bars is continuing to live. Haji. Yeah. So no, Jonnie Bars is a household name.
P-Town.
Yeah.
That's P-Town right here.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you guys again.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you for being
no problem,
last minute. Coming in the clutch. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And, you can find us at Untapped Hip Hop and Facebook, Instagram, all social medias, YouTube, you name it. And then also be on the lookout. We're gonna have our own Instagram page of KOS coming soon. So
Hey.
yeah. Also, where can they find you?
Oh, I
Nato?
got scared. I was about to do it. I'm like, oh crap. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter. Instagram, I am New Age Takeover. Twitter, New Age Takeover. Also, New Age Athletics, Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. One more time, Jonnie Bars. Thank you so much for being a
Thank
guest
you
with
guys.
us.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate your time and energy.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Thank
y'all.
you
On that
guys
note.
for supporting. Subscribe.
Yeah.